Kot delal glih zadnjič enkrat LAIBACH kot glasbena skupina, ne, da je zelo popularna po svet, ne. Rečemo, po Evropi sploh, sem gledal po televiziji kazali, da so bili na Dunaji, ne, pa v Prag, da imajo vse razprodan pa to, ne. So zelo popularni, sam tle pa nam praktično, za LAIBACH skupino se ne ve veliko, kako pa kaj. A je sam glasbena skupina, je še kaj drugega?
Nama su slike lijepe, samo ružni kakav je.
Moja, gromo.
Čekaj, zara intervju.
Čisto malo, druga jedna druga. Kar pt.
Srećno.
Srećno. Good luck.
To je težko razložiti, kako bi rekel. Vem, da je, mislim, LAIBACH po mojem nema čisten svoj način izražanja glasbe, nema praktično nekakšen protest do družbe. En odpor do družbe, en odpor do sistema, kakršenkoli je, ne. Tudi do celotnega, rečemo, evropskega sistema, lahko karkoli.
By the middle of the century, the machinery producing power from coal and steam and the machinery producing mythology from images of power are manufacturing each other. The mass reproduction of images on strips of moving celluloid prefigures the mass media which will follow, the beginning of new, increasingly global cycles of manipulation.
The big question that everybody is asking herself or himself apropos of LAIBACH, of course, is, are they taking themselves serious or is it meant in an ironic way? Well, I think, of course, this is the wrong alternative, because the automatic assumption of this question is that if your attitude towards a certain social system of social values, etc., is ironic, then you are subversive. You take it seriously, you are a conformist, etc. I think that the whole point, the basic underlying premise of LAIBACH strategy is that, and this holds not only for Slovenia, but let's say generally, for so-called late capitalism in general even, that system itself has at its inherent condition of functioning that its own ideology must not be taken seriously. In other words, cynicism as today's prevailing mode of ideology means that it is the positive condition of the functioning of the system that its own ideology must, by its own subject, not be taken seriously. An ideal subject today is the one who has ironic distance towards the system, etc., etc. And the reverse of this is that the only way, I would even say, to be really subversive is not to develop critical potentials, ironic distance, but precisely to take the system more seriously than it takes itself seriously. And I think that this is maybe one of the keys to LAIBACH strategy.
Artistic representation of fascist rituals may even have good general cultural and even political effects. I think it is general characteristic of the Eastern Bloc that the confrontation with fascism was never really made on the symbolic level. It was clear for the rest of the Eastern Bloc that it couldn't happen because it was too close to the ways totalitarianism functioned there. While in Yugoslavia, I guess it happened for a perverted reason, namely that the real victory over fascism, the military victory, blocked the symbolical confrontation. People thought it was okay. We defeated the Nazis, we defeated the Quislings, so we don't have to worry about them anymore. And of course, the everyday fascism is always there without Quislings and the Nazis.
For example, for the American public, let's recall a typical town in the south of United States in the 20s. We have the official white law and order rule, etc. On the other hand, we have the nightly dark side of it, Ku Klux Klan, beatings of the blacks, etc. Now, my point is here double. First, the transgression. There is nothing subversive in the transgression of the system. This nightly suspension of the rule of the law and order, lynchings, beating of the blacks, are transgressions of the system, but transgressions which are inherent part of the system. If you would ask an ideal subject of the United States, of the small southern town, where is here real identity? You can break the official public law. You will still be considered as one of us. If you don't solidarize with beatings of which Ku Klux Klan, you are excluded. So in other words, not only does every system include its own inherent transgression, but identifying with this transgression, which must remain unspoken, concealed, is the real form of conformism. And this transgression must remain hidden, unspoken. Of course, this goes for the United States. Here, in so-called real socialism, we had other forms of these hidden transgressions. And my point is that what LAIBACH is doing is precisely bringing to the light of the day this inherent transgression, which precisely in order for the system to reproduce itself must remain hidden.
I think that NSK really came at a good moment and made a symbolical, artistic recapitulation of the deep virus of fascism in Slovenian tradition, as in every other European tradition. I mean, of course, fascism only came to power in certain countries, but it was present everywhere, and it still is. And you see in Yugoslavia how it is.